When you're trying to get started with Amazon FBA, the hardest part isn't learning how the platform works. It's figuring out what to sell in the first place. Most people watch video after video, scroll through products for hours, and realize they're actually more confused at the end of it than when they just got started. I remember exactly what that felt like. I wanted something that could really grow my business, but I was also scared of choosing the wrong product and wasting money I couldn't afford to lose. What finally helped me was learning how to look at data in a way that actually supported the decisions I needed to make. That's where Helium 10 started to make a difference for me. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through how I use Helium 10 to find profitable Amazon FBA products and what my experience has actually been like using it. So by the end, you'll have a much clearer sense of whether it makes sense for your business or not. Now, before I get into the steps, it helps to understand what Helium 10 actually is and why it matters for product research. So it's basically a Chrome extension and a full suite of more than 30 tools built for Amazon and Walmart sellers. But the reason people use it during the research stage is because it brings all the data you need into one place. So instead of checking 10 different websites or trying to piece things together on your own, you're able to see demand, competition, keywords, and trends in a way that actually supports the decisions that you're trying to make. And once you understand how the main research tools inside Helium 10 work together, it becomes a lot easier to spot products that actually have potential and ignore the ones that clearly don't. And hey, if you're thinking about trying out Helium 10, you can use my code OPTIMIZE10 at checkout to get 10% off of all their plans forever. When I first started using Helium 10, I wasn't trying to become an expert on every single tool. I just needed something that would help me understand whether a product idea was actually worth looking into. What stood out to me right away was how much easier it became to notice patterns. Instead of guessing if people were even buying something or trying to manually check competition levels, I could finally see the kind of information that actually mattered. And the more I used it, the more I understood how each part of the research process connects to the next. I could check demand, look at the sales history, see how many sellers were already in the space, and get a feel for whether a product had room to grow. And because all of that was in one place, it made the whole process feel less overwhelming. It helped me stop chasing random ideas and start focusing on products that actually made sense. Now, the part that really matters is how the main tools inside Helium 10 actually fit into product research. And the one most people start with is Black Box. It's essentially a giant database of more than 450 million Amazon products. And what makes it useful is that you can filter it based on the kind of business that you're trying to build. You can look at categories, price ranges, review counts, the number of sellers, weight, and so many other factors that help you spot products with demand but lower competition. Once something looks interesting, the next step is usually the Chrome extension, because that's where X-Ray comes in. X-Ray basically gives you a clearer view of what's going on in that niche. You can see estimated sales, revenue, how established the competitors are, and whether the demand is steady or just a short-term spike. Trendster helps with that too. It shows you price and sales history over time, which helps you see if the demand is steady or if it just looks good for a moment. Then there's Cerebro, which lets you run a reverse ASIN lookup. That's where you can see which keywords are actually driving traffic to the products already ranking on Amazon. And Magnet builds on that by showing you the broader keyword landscape, including long-tail phrases with good search volume. Altogether, these tools give you a full picture. You're able to look at demand, competition, keywords, and trends in a way that makes it much clearer whether a product has real potential or not. One thing I noticed pretty quickly is how much these tools take away the pressure of trying to figure everything out on your own. When you're new, it's easy to get stuck in ideas that look good on the surface but fall apart the second you look into it deeper. And before I had Helium 10, that was the part that stressed me out the most. I'd get excited about a product, only to realize hours later that the demand wasn't stable, or the competition was way stronger than it looked. What changed for me was having a way to confirm things instead of guessing. I could see if a niche was seasonal, if the sales were real, and whether there was any actual room for a new seller. It made those early steps feel less like gambling and more like making decisions with some level of confidence behind them. Alright, so that's all well and good, but how much does Helium 10 actually cost? Helium 10 actually has a free plan. It is limited, but you can use each tool a few times and get a feel for how everything works before you decide if you actually like it. Then they have the starter plan, which is the cheapest option. It's about $40 a month, or around $30 a month if you pay yearly, which comes out to roughly $350 a year. It gives you the basics, but most of the deeper research tools have limits. The only thing you get full access to on that tier is X-Ray and the Chrome extension. Then there's the Platinum plan, which costs about $100 a month, or roughly $80 a month if you go yearly, ending up just under $1,000 for the full year. This is the plan most sellers use because it opens up Blackbox, Cerebro, Magnet, and the rest of the core product research features without those starter plan caps. After that is the Diamond plan, which is around $280 a month, or about $230 monthly if you pay yearly, coming out to be just about $2,800 for the year. That one is really for sellers who need higher limits or a lot of extra features. If you're mainly here for product research, most people don't need to start that high. And if you sign up and feel like it's not for you, they do give you about a week to get a refund on your first payment. You just reach out to support and let them know. Another thing I want to mention is how Helium 10 compares to Jungle Scout. So here's the simplest way to look at it. Jungle Scout is usually the more affordable option, and for a lot of beginners, that's what gets their attention first. Their main plan comes in lower than Helium 10's Platinum plan, and Jungle Scout has a reputation for solid revenue estimates, which a lot of sellers rely on when they're evaluating a niche. Helium 10, on the other hand, gives you a wider range of tools and a deeper level of detail. You're able to handle more of your research workflow in one place, and that's really where it stands out. But like I said, it does cost a little bit more, but it's also built for people who want more data and more room to grow. Also, what helped me get a better feel for Helium 10 was looking at what other sellers were saying about it. A lot of people mention how helpful the tools are for finding products and understanding their niche more clearly, especially with things like Blackbox, Magnet, and Cerebro. On the downside, some sellers mentioned the platform feels a little overwhelming at first, just because there's a lot inside it. But once they got used to the layout and started with just a couple of tools, it became much easier to work with. So to wrap it up, from my experience, Helium 10 is best for people who want to understand the full picture before jumping into a product. If you're someone who likes seeing demand, competition, keywords, and trends all laid out in front of you, this platform makes that a lot easier. It's also great if you're the type of person who prefers having everything in one place instead of using different websites or tools for each step. And if you're serious about building an FBA business and you want something that's going to grow with you as you get more experience, the depth of Helium 10 becomes a real advantage. It fits sellers who want to make decisions based on data rather than relying on intuition or copying whatever trend is popular that week. And just to remind you, I'll drop my discounted link in the description down below. Just use the code OPTIMIZE10 at checkout to get 10% off of all their plans forever. And if you're interested in working with us or sponsoring a future video, you can reach out using the email in the description below. I appreciate you watching, and I hope this helped you get a clearer sense of what your product research process can look like. Other than that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.